Hi guys, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. And in this case I'm going to be doing an update review on my EDC. I've been receiving some email about it, asking questions about what it is that you're carrying these days and such. So that's going to be it. This is going to be a EDC video. Moving on. Wily X Revolver. This is from the Black Ops series. I don't know, you know, those cool fancy names. These are still Wily, so that's why I bought them, not because of the stupid name they come up with. Wily offers good products in terms of eyewear that actually provides protection to your eyes as well. These glasses are the ones I use for shooting as well. They have UV protection, so it's like sunglasses, eye protection, shooting glasses, all wrapped in one. That goes along with the philosophy I always keep in mind is use on the range what you use on the street as well. If not, adapt so as to make it that way. It's not that great an idea to have, you know, the separate gear for the range and for the training and all the self-defense stuff you do, and on the other side have your normal stuff. Make it your normal stuff. Find a way of making it work. This works very well because it looks just like normal ordinary shades. They are, but they offer that good eye protection that is provided by the Wily X. They're not excellent because I've noticed that when driving and when it's a bit warm, they do fog up a bit here, you know, so like they're needing a bit of ventilation. Still, they wrap up nicely. The eye protection they provide is great, even from objects impacting at high speed. These shades are going to be providing protection for your eyes. Very important, folks, to have eye protection. You notice it's pretty clear. It's not that dark, so even here in UK where it's a bit more cloudy in general terms, you still manage to use these for your daily wear shades. So that's what I'm using in terms of shades. What else? Moving quickly, Tesco antibacterial hand wipes. Keeping your hands clean at all times, especially before eating something, especially if you touch surfaces that aren't clean and such. It used to be much more of a problem in Argentina, where I've noticed that in wintertime people would seriously get sick in general terms, mostly because it's a third world country, because hygiene is poor, because the socio-economic situation is much worse than in a first world country. Here, for example, in UK, I noticed we're in the middle of winter and I do see some people coughing and such, but it's not that bad, not nearly as bad as it is in Argentina during winter. There's also cultural factors as well. In Argentina, people tend to be a bit more rude than here, where people are more, you know, well-mannered and such. I noticed that people here cover their nose when sneezing and coughing. They cover their mouths. They mind others a bit more. In Argentina, you know, you often find people that going that way and, you know, spitting all over and spraying germs like crazy. It's you know, it's a social, cultural, economic thing. Third world countries tend to be a bit more dirty. The diseases spread more, so it's actually very important to keep your hands clean, very clean. Here you can get away with it, but I still do that. I still have my little, either a flask with alcohol gel, or these ones, which I like because you actually have the wipes so as to clean better and remove some of the dirt if I need it. So, you know, takes up no space at all, so it's a good idea. Wallets, credit cards, important numbers, a small amount of coins as well over here. The typical stuff you find in a wallet. You know, I just make sure I have a good amount of coins as well, even in my pocket. You know, some more coins. You need them for, you know, for the shopping carts, for, you know, if in case you need to make a call. Just I always like having a few more coins with me. Cell phone, iPhone 3S. The thing is, I haven't replaced it yet with a new one, with the iPhone 4, because of the case. For me, this wouldn't work as a system At least for me, without this case. I love the iPhone as long as it comes with it. If I hadn't had this case with me since the beginning, I would have spent, I'm not kidding you, thousands of dollars replacing the amount of iPhones I would have broken. I don't know why it is. I mean, they just fall off. You just drop them for some reason or another. Maybe you're grabbing one of the kids, getting out of the car, maybe doing a bit of shooting, and you go for you go for something and bump against it. Going for a reload and you bump against the cell phone. Someone says, "Ah, you stupid! Why are you doing this? Why are you doing practical shooting with your cell phone on?" Well, because I have my cell phone with me at all times. So it's again, it's better to do things the way you actually are dressed in the street as well. Do the training, do the self-defense training, do the shooting with the kind of clothes and the kind of setup that you use on the street. It's only then that you realize that if you're going to be reloading and you have the phone too close to your magazines, that you're going to be bumping against it and dropping. So I always derail on these topics. Again, without it, it wouldn't work as well. The new iPhone 4, the OtterBox Defender made for the new iPhone, is not as good as this one. This OtterBox Defender is much better than the new version they have for the iPhone 4. The new OtterBox Defender has open spaces here where they have the camera and the LED. So that actually allows for dust to get inside. That actually sucks. I don't know why they didn't do it the same way. I think there's something about the distortion on the camera, so they just left it open. I think this is a much better case, so that's why I'm sticking with the old iPhone, because of the case mostly. Notebook for addresses, phone numbers, ideas. It often happens to me that I have some idea for an article or something I want to write about, and I'm in the middle of something else, and if I don't write it down in that same moment, I lose it. I don't know if it happens to you guys as well. So having the notebook with me helps in that way a lot, especially now that it's winter. I have more space, so I keep that in my jacket's pocket. Going along with it, I have a Fisher Space Pen, black, very much a classic pen. Great little pen for writing, and doesn't take up much space either. Weight, it's not a problem. What else do we have here? Quark 123 tactical flashlight by 4.7s. I always keep up to date with whatever the guys from 4.7s are offering, also from Phoenix. I like knowing what's on the market and what's available. I always try updating when I see something that works better, or I see a product that offers more advantages. I try it out, and if it's working for me, I change it. I know there's a few new LED lenses, LED emitters by Cree being offered by 4.7s. The difference is not that significant. You're not talking about huge amounts of lumens being put out the front through those new LEDs. So at least for me, it's not worth changing, at least not for now. Whenever I see that there's a new LED that offers significant amount of advantage or better performance in some other way, I will change it. For now, I'm still pretty happy with this. Why is it a tactical model? Because it has this clicky button and has a temporary on-off feature. Okay, you see it set here in minimum. This is 10 lumens. I actually have this in my pocket like this, twisted fully, because it has two setups. It has fully twisted and just a tad untwisted. Fully twisted, it's in its maximum output in 200 lumens. Just a little bit untwisted, it's 10 lumens, which is what I use for daily purposes. I don't need the 200 lumens all the time. It's actually kind of blinding to have that much light. So I usually keep it this way in 200 lumens in case I need it in a hurry. But I always go back for the 10 lumens when I need it for some other purpose that doesn't require so much power. You can actually program this flashlight a little bit. It has like some other features with a user interface of 4/7, twisting and untwisting and setting that up. I just leave these two modes on, and that's what I use. I have a little bit of a lanyard here and a cord in, which is actually a whistle. I went with one that has a little bit of orange in case I drop it in grass, so it's like more visible. If not, if it's all black, it disappears rather easily if you drop it somewhere where there's tall grass, or if it's dark. Just a little bit more visibility thanks to the contrast of colors. I actually have this one, which sounds kind of stupid, but honestly it's the way I had this in my pockets, in between my pants and my jacket. I have this one as well. The thing is, I like having a spare battery for the flashlight, because you never know when you run out of it, of battery, since it keeps it constant output, and it just dies on you all of a sudden. It's not like dimming for a few minutes, just goes out all of a sudden. So having a spare battery is a good idea. So what I use is another flashlight, which is the Quark Mini 123, which is this little thing you see here. Also 200 lumens output. It has like various outputs depending on first, second, and third mode. And then you can cycle through them. It has, when you go 3 times through the 3 modes, it goes into a strobe mode and an SOS and a couple other things. The thing is, it's so small that I use it as a battery case for a spare battery. So just a little bit more, just a tad bigger than a plastic case for a single battery. I have an extra flashlight, so while I have the space in the jacket, I do that. I keep second flashlight, using it as a battery container. Again, same thing. I had this one in my jacket and this one in my pocket. Zippo lighter. Works well, but it's kind of heavy. It dries up. The fuel dries up in like a couple of weeks. So I have this, but I understand it's not something I can count on all the time. Just I like having a Zippo, but I know that it's not the smartest thing, and it's not the most practical thing, I'd say. So that's why I always keep a spare one. This is the Jeep lighter, which I've mentioned in a video before. These are made in France. They're a bit better than the ordinary cheapo gas lighters. You see the ones with the translucent plastic, and you see the fuel inside. Those are pretty cheaply made, and the quality is kind of poor. So I prefer having something like this. These are made in France. These are better, and you see that's in generally the better belts. So for a few more cents, I like having something that's better quality than the cheapest possible lighter in the planet. I wrap a little bit of Gorilla Tape around it, and it just fits perfectly. This is the wideness of the roll of Gorilla Tape. So just wrapping a couple of feet around it. I always find myself using this, guys, so that's why I keep sticking to it, and I recommend it because it is indeed handy. The button is also bigger in the Jeep, so that's also good. Moving on, what else? Where and when legal to carry, I'll have my Leatherman charge, as you guys know. Again, a few multi-tools I've reviewed as well. I haven't reviewed specifically the charge. Deserves its own review, so I'll probably be doing one of those as well. Also, where and when legal, this is the Cold Steel, the new one. I have a few ones because right now I'm in UK, but before I was in Argentina. Before that, after that, in between I was in Spain as well. So I'm just showing the things, and you guys adapt to your circumstances. These are the ones that I've been handling lately, and all classics in their own right, except, well, this one is not a classic because it's pretty new. This one, I was carrying it in Barcelona, or right before coming here. Maybe the last few days in Argentina, when I was packing my knife collection, wrapping it up and getting all ready to set it up here. I think I left, I had this one and another Cold Steel, which were the ones I was using those last few days. Spyderco Endura, classic knife, VG10, about 4-inch blade. What can you say about it? It's perfect. It has maybe the grip you get is not perfect. I would prefer a little bit more thumb protection here, a bit more, a more aggressive finger growth, so as to have a better protection in case it slides forward, in case it slides forward when you cut your hand. That's something that has been improved a lot, and that's why I'm having it here and showing it, and I'm gonna be doing a review of this later, the new Cold Steel Voyager. Look at that knife, outstanding and very smart. Finally someone said, okay, we have to do a more aggressive finger growth. It's like, when you have that silly pudding and you press it hard and you make that someone realized that doing that would make a much better grip, and they achieved that. So this is going to be getting its own review, just showing a bit of the options that I've been trying lately. Okay, it also has the alternative of moving the clip on all 4 positions, which is great because it gives you lots of flexibility depending on what you like. This is the setup that I like myself. People like it tip up, tip down, and left or right-handed. There's a full flat ground version as well. My wife, she has the Delica, which is a shorter version of the Endura with a full flat ground. I prefer the Saber ground because it's a tougher blade, and it's just as sharp as any other blade as well. The full flat ground, in my opinion, sacrifices a bit of the toughness provided by this Saber ground. And at least for me, it's not worth it. It's not worth the trade-off of having a more fragile blade, because this is just as sharp as anything else. If you touch it up yourself, if you know how to sharpen a knife, if you know how to work the blade a little bit, you get an excellent razor sharp. You could shave with this knife, guys, and that's as much as I ask for from a knife. If it shaves cleanly, that's all I need. What else do I have here? Car keys, of course, Honda, CRV. I should be making a video about why I chose this vehicle, the Honda CRV, why I like it, and mention some of the advantages it has. Finally, moving to the keychain, we have the Swiss Army Mini Champ knife, which I've been carrying for a long time, a few years now. You guys know that I like it a lot. I do like it a lot because it offers so many things in such a small space. It just stays in your keychain and it's always there, very handy for everything. The Phoenix LD01 light uses it's actually running a bit low. No, it's okay. It uses a AAA battery, a single AAA battery, which I think I should be replacing, because now when I'm looking at it, no, that's okay, it's just flickering a little bit, just in case. You see the amount of wear it has, because it's been carried a lot. It has, with a single AAA battery, it has like 80 lumens, and a low and medium mode as well. When it first came out, it was like flashlight collectors were like, this is so amazing. You were having like this little keychain flashlight that was giving you like more lumens than a bigger mag light. These days, it's still not. It hasn't been improved much upon. There are, as I said before, there are a few newer LEDs by Cree that maybe are more energy efficient, just a little bit, but the output of lumens on its own, it's not that much improved. So that's why I'm still sticking with this old LD01 flashlight by Phoenix. Excellent flashlight, comes in handy a lot as well. Having the other ones, I usually end up using those, especially if I have a spare battery. But again, it's the way the setup works. If you don't have anything else and you run out the door and you only have your keychain with you, you will have a flashlight and you will have a small knife as well. So it all works in those those circles of gear for me. If I don't have anything else but my keychains, which is something that I will have if I'm out the door, and you know, because you have to lock your door, your house key is the basic essential piece of gear you have with you. So that's why I have a bit of a kit in it. What else? Pry bars. The Pico pry bar, the smallest pry bar offered. There's the Ouija bar as well, that's just a little bit bigger. And the Vox tool. Vox tool, this is made by Boker. It's kind of wearing off where it says, but here it is, Boker, and this is the Vox tool. It's a titanium pry bar. Very nicely designed. I like the design a lot. It has also a bottle opener here as well, and a glass breaker tip, which is covered by these O-rings. If you move them aside, you have a glass breaking tool. Haven't tested, so I cannot say how well it works, but at least you have one. I've used this actually for scrapping off some ice and snow off my windshield one morning. This one actually scratched my windshield. I didn't realize until I made a couple of lines with it, and before I knew it, I had like these white lines scratched right through the windshield. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's too hard. The titanium is too hard. I then used this. The Pico pry bar, used this for scraping the ice, and it did perfectly well without scratching. But this one scratched the glass of my car. So, you know, just I still haven't made up my mind. I know that I want a small pry bar here because I know the blades here in the mini champ are too fragile and too delicate, and for anything that requires a bit more strength, I will be needing one of these. Still didn't decide which one I like the most, but since they are so small, I'm still keeping both. You know, just make up your mind. Maybe try both. Maybe just buy the one you like the most. Small peanut lighter. This one is made of titanium. I just bought it because I like having the titanium thing. You know, life is too short for doing for not doing what you like. So I just wanted a titanium thing. I got it, and you know, happy with it. But it costs like, you can buy like 20 of these ones on Deal Extreme. They cost like $1. And on Deal Extreme, this one I used for a long time as well. Well, not exactly this one because I bought several, but it just works just as well. It's even smaller than the titanium one, but this one works just as well. For a couple of bucks or $1 in Deal Extreme, you can buy it, gets shipped to your house for free. So, you know, just wanted a titanium version of it, and I have it here. Peanut lighters are great because while they do use a fuel similar to the Zippo, it has that O-ring and keeps the fuel. It prevents it of drying up. So if you fill it up and you close it properly, just a little bit of a squeeze there, it lasts for several months. You know, the other one I had lasts like 6 months because of that O-ring. So, you know, that's basically it. What else, guys? That's all. Well, watch. Seiko Orange Monster diver's watch. It's a bit heavy, but I like it a lot. It's a tough watch, doesn't require any batteries, automatic, so that's what I'm carrying with me. That's basically my video review on EDC. Right, folks? Gonna be seeing you on our next video. Take care.